Hey y'all, this is Southern Woods here. We're at McKaskey Campground here in Cartersville, Georgia for this next episode of Tour of Toona. We'll see. I mean, it looks promising. Again, it's another hot day, so hopefully the weather doesn't mess with the fishing too much, but let's get it. All right, y'all, so I just put out my poles. We got here around 4:30, so it's already evening. All right, so the sun's already going to be setting soon. Both poles have night crawlers. All we have right now is night crawlers and let me show you some of the magic, catfish bait. This one's shrimp and chicken blood. I don't know, it was on sale, so we'll see what happens. I love being in a cove near the mouth of a creek, which is over there, McKaskey Creek. I always feel like there's good potential in coves, typically, a little less beaten from the sun, so we will see what happens. All right, y'all, first up, let's talk about accessibility for here at McKaskey Creek Campground. It's a smaller campground. I think there's only about 50 sites on it, so there's limitations on availability, I'm sure. Regarding price, standard $34 a night like any other campground. Getting here pretty easy, although it is kind of off the main roads a little bit. It's kind of deep on some back roads, so it's a little bit more out the way than other campgrounds around the lake. Attendants were friendly. The spots a little close together, so being here on a weekend could be a little bit of a privacy issue. However, overall the accessibility I feel like is pretty decent here. I'm going to give it a 4.3 out of 5 stars, so mid B, solid score, pretty good. Man, that's a lake party foul, dropping your sunglasses in the water. Y'all, that is a big old turtle out there. I really hope he don't bite my hook at all. Shit. All right, y'all, now let's talk about that aesthetic score. One thing I really like about McKaskey Creek Campground is that it's on a very secluded part of the lake. All right, most of the campgrounds within this cove / the creek, so there's very minimal boat traffic. It's calm. It's not the most gorgeous spot, but it's actually very peaceful and nice. Again, though, campsites in general are pretty close together, not much in between. So if you're out here on a weekend and it's crowded, that would probably really hurt the aesthetic. But since we're pretty much all here by ourselves, it's really nice and peaceful. So I'm going to give it a 4.4 out of 5 for aesthetic, high B. It's really nice, pretty, and quiet out here, and I enjoyed that. Anthony's tearing up these bait fish. All right, y'all, now I want to talk about that fishability rating. All right. Overall, there's a lot of cover for fish, being that it's like in a cove next to a mouth of a prominent creek. I mean, there's fish here. It's just that they're competing with the turtles hella. There are so many turtles here. And I know it's not fun catching turtles. They steal bait. And again, they compete with some of the fish. There is a pretty good entanglement, all right, around here. There's a lot of fallen down trees and limbs, and just a lot to get tangled up on the bottom. So bottom fishing is a little tricky here, but given that it's a cove, the wind isn't as bad as it would be in a more open water situation. So I'm going to give the overall fishability score here a 3.9 out of 4, just under a B, just because there's so many damn turtles, and fairly easy to get hung up if you're just in the wrong spot. So but overall, I do think that there are fish in this cove for sure. He's coming straight for me. But we're hanging it up for the night. Gonna wake up real early and try to get the sunrise bite, and then Anthony's got to go, and I'm gonna go to a different spot for a new episode. Good night. Hey y'all, it's the next morning. The moon's still pretty bright. It's about 40 minutes before sunrise. Been hearing some decent fish jumping around. The water's very calm. I really wish I had some minnows right now, but all we got is worms. So that's what we're gonna rock with. I will admit, today has been a frustrating morning, all right? Because I wanted to get a bait fish out in the water on a bobber because some bigger fish were hitting up top, and the night crawlers really haven't done anything this time around. So trying to catch a little bait fish on a small pole, just not working. All right, and then I finally get one, and I drop him in the water. Then I get another, and I put him on my pole, and I try to sling him out there, and I sling him off, and then I sling my bobber and hook into a tree. Classic. And then, you know, spent 10-15 minutes getting that untangled, and then the bait fish weren't biting, so then I gave up on it. And then just now recently I was able to get a nice sized bait fish on the pole and out in the water. So, but of course it's past prime morning. It's just been one of those mornings. Anthony's gone. He had to go to work. I was gonna go to a different spot for a different episode, but I was just kind of late doing everything and figured I just do it a different day. Try to spend a couple more hours out here and hope something happens. Anthony landed, or almost landed, a nice bass as well. So that's 2 fish that he lost here, but 2 decent fish that, you know, we almost got. We'll see what happens in the next hour or two, and if nothing, then I'll probably be packing up. We'll see. All right, y'all. I knew it'd happen eventually. I'd catch one of these fucking turtles. There's so many of them. This morning is killing me. All right, I gotta get them out of here. All right, y'all. I think it's time for that fishing luck score and then the final score. So we didn't technically catch any fish this trip, as you saw. However, Anthony had 2 nice fish that he almost landed. One on camera, the gar, and one off camera, which was a nice bass. Both on the type of lure, the one that's kind of top water but also makes the noises. I forgot what they're called. So lures is what was working today. None of the bait we had really got any hits. However, I'm gonna give give this place some kudos. All right, I think you can definitely land a couple fish here, a couple decent ones, maybe even a few. So I'm gonna give the fishing luck score a 2.3 out of 5. All right, because we almost landed 2 really nice fish, and then just some bonus points because I feel like, you know, you could catch a few nice fish here. So the total score is going to be a 7.5 out of 10 here for McKaskey Creek Campground. So a 75% mid-C, which is pretty decent. All right, one of the better ones overall that we've done in this series. We're now a little bit over halfway. Again, it sucks that we're in the middle of this big heat wave and we haven't had rain in weeks. I'm sure that's definitely affecting the fish. The pros for this place though, I really like it. Especially if you don't have many neighbors. It's pretty secluded. This side of the lake is calm, it's quiet, there's like no boat traffic, there's no road noises, which is nice. I haven't really seen that at many other campgrounds so far, or spots in general. And there's definitely fish here, right? There's bass, and then there's gar. I don't know about the catfish though. All right, one of the biggest problem I have here is there is a lot of fucking turtles, and turtles steal bait, and if you catch a turtle, it sucks, and they compete especially with catfish. Not to mention that bottom fishing here is a challenge. So I think the move here at McKaskey is top water rig or lure fishing. Or at least if you're gonna fish bottom, fish with something lively that the turtles can't really get to as easily. But overall, I think the spot has potential, especially if we were in the middle of a heat wave. I like it, more so than other spots we've been to so far. Even though we didn't land any fish, like, I don't feel terrible about it. So again, take that as you will. If you like this, hit me with the like button. If you want to see more of this Tour of Toona series, subscribe, join the Southern Woods community, and without further ado, y'all, Southern Woods out. Also, check out the map. All right, I've been updating the Google map, the Tour of Toona map. Check it out.